Hey, hi. Welcome back. So I think I left it saying I was gonna come up with a plan as to what to do next, but I don't think I can be bothered. To be honest, I think I just need to keep pounding away. I'll get mobile artillery and mobile SAM next turn. Don't think that it really matters too much which bit of his territory I go for. Um, we just keep going. I'm not gonna make these try and attack. Yeah, which I thought about because I could have ceasefire, bumped everything in there, and they'd run and attack that. That's what can I do? Can I get around to upheaving? Oh, right, yeah, no knocks for that. They move, maybe I could though. Because that would be more useful. I mean, I don't know what taking that really does. Okay, but you wait. Um, do that next turn, I think. Um, Actually, you know what? It's tedious. I am gonna, I think, building units. I'm just gonna upgrade. Yeah. Also, yeah, I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get artillery next turn. Yeah, it's gonna be better to just upgrade, isn't it, rather than. Oh, I should have put it up big. Yeah, I think I need. Doesn't it? You need. Include. Like that. Yeah, I need to up in it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna get over there anymore. So you deserve to be happy, Lindy. You've served me well. Uh, um, buildings, just because I'm nice. I think I really need something else. Let's finish that actually. And then you can get happier. You've done. You've done good work. Actually, why I shouldn't waste money, should I? Because I want to upgrade as many as possible next turn. I think I should stop losing anything like as many units now. Yeah, partly because those armies been um, decimated, but also because my units are just going to be so much closer to his. Once we've got the... Oh, I could have got the hospital. Once we've got mobile artillery and mobile SAMs, and I can just move it a lot quicker, so the war will be a lot faster. I think that's everything, right? Oh yeah, I can upgrade you, can't I? Forgotten about that. And yeah, I've got advanced flight, haven't I? Oh, actually, no. Going in, aren't I? What am I thinking? Well, actually, am I? Let's have a look. Yeah. No, I'm wanted back me? No. I think that's maybe not Chinese culture on that city if I I take Hangzhou. Yep. Going to help to hopefully there's something we can I think I could bombard in that turn, but whatever. Oh yeah, I need to cover my workers. I need to improve that sheep, don't I? Yeah, I think we do any more. Oh no, well then very close to the end. I've enjoyed the war with Shin, but I think it gotten to the point where even if I do something stupid and get wiped out, it's not going to affect the outcome of the game for a bit. Even though it wasn't like super hard, I could still have I could still have lost it. But if my stack had been wiped out, that would have basically been game over because I wouldn't have been able to rebuild it in time to get to the capital and destroy the spaceship. But the period is pretty much gone, I think now. Yeah. Okay. Maybe. We're really not very happy here, are we? There's not a lot I can do about that. Well, apart from end the war, but yeah, we're not doing that. Not actually for me. Yeah, it seems like it. Oh, yeah, that.
Nothing travels faster than the speed of light, with the possible exception of bad news, which obeys its own special laws.
Yes. Ooh, got jets. No. Should I attack this? What's that going to do? Not very much. What am I doing? Um, Maybe unpleasant. collected all these as well, shouldn't I? Back on. Yep, so we got that. I think this actually. Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I upgrading don't need for free. Great general. You do. Yeah. Great hard generate. 33 actually. It's not done too well, has that? Yeah. Yeah. Uh-oh. Getting all of yeah. Yeah, it's getting awkward. Just trying to keep a handle. I'll get a handle on what's going on. A lot of units. Wait. Yeah, we go. Promote that then. Which wants you or I was looking at that, wasn't I? Maybe I should go and try and take that actually. Well, can I get that? That's what I can. Okay. I can some of that. Not non tanks. No, tanks. Healthy ones. Yeah, sleep. Yeah. Yeah, I don't need this many tanks, do I? Maybe I can't do this one. Okay, so one of those doesn't need to starve, I think. Oh, okay. Don't think there's anything I can do about that, is there? Ah, What I could do is turn the waypoint off though. I Oh no, it's not a hero city. The Shaka War. You deserve to be happy. What do you even do? It's been one of my key cities. Oh, what's going on here? That? Joao, oh yeah. Yeah. I guess we have the tour. Which I think we're done. Will you talk? Yeah. I take that. I could do that. Oh, yes. No, I'm just. So now you declare war on Joao? Well, feel he'll count. Oh, I'm going to take back for him. What is that? Yeah. I won anyway, even if he doesn't cap. Yeah. And to be honest, I kind of blame him for how long this game has gone on. Because if he hadn't used Vassal to Chin would never have gotten so big. Um, I thought this would be a bit easier. I just have some like, I don't know. Oh well, I win anyway. I wonder if I this, am I going to have less fewer points? Maybe. Oh, I get down here. No. Oh, that's annoying. I wonder if I've got a conquest. I never know how it works. Because I'd have already been over there. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Yeah. What? What? It's just there's no point in moving them, is there? Because I think it is done. Oh yeah, they got a pig. Exciting. I don't mind doing that. Oh, and Beijing can work its tiles. Nice. Yep. What am I doing? Who cares, right? Or could I actually? Case. I'm down here, I suppose. I'm very disappointed that I actually haven't capped Joel, but you know. Well, there's a lesson in there about just taking the capitulation when you can. Oh, I don't do well. Or if I make peace actually. Does that mean? Doesn't really help, but I think some places are like we're just get a bit happier. It just made no difference there, but I don't really know I'm doing this. I don't really care about the score, which will be bad. Just be, but can I trade for stuff, right? Yeah, I want that. I want that. I want that. And that. I want that. Everyone is happy apart from Chengdu, but that's in revolt, isn't it? Well, okay. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. I'm pleased with that. Again, it's so long I can't really remember what happened, but yeah, well, I mean, it's semi-isolated with Shaka, isn't it? I'm interested what happened on this continent. Yes, that's me. One Shaka. Oh, the Golden Age. What's going on? So, yeah, Monty was captured. Mm-hmm. Monty's declared war as well. Right, yeah. Okay. Run across the map for that. So China declared war on Zhao as well. Captured Lagos. Yeah, wow. I guess there's a war between Macbeth and the Aztecs. Not sure I was even really aware of that. Well, that's what happened. I guess did Macbeth get bribed in? Who attacked who? You see. Oh, sorry, Monty declared war on Macbeth. Isn't he already fighting? She made peace with. Okay, so alright, that's Monty being Monty. Yeah, one makes peace with him. Many peace vessels. Right. Yeah, he did get a little bit screwed on land, didn't he? Yeah, I mean, I really talk about what's going on here because, so I'm. Sorry to declare war on Monty. Well, I made peace with him and then I declared. Oh, yeah, yeah. 'Cause he attacked me, didn't he? And I bribed Macbeth in on it. Oh. Yeah, and then, well, building spaceship hubs and me destroying spaceships. That's kind of how it ended. Um, I think I might come back at some point and say a little bit more about the game. Because honestly, I started this a couple of months ago. I can't really remember a lot of what's happened. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to say anything particularly interesting or insightful now. I may not be able to when I come back either, but I will at least give it a go. Uh, yeah, none of this means very much at this stage. I'm kind of interested to see this. Got 60 mechanized infantry, cavalry. Yeah, how much artillery did I lose? 71. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah. I mean, it's not an official way of doing it, but I didn't have any choice because I was too far behind attack. For various reasons. Yeah, low score because it's a late finish. Something I'm kind of find annoying about this game, the scoring mechanic. Because, yeah, so I'm told that this is a low score when I've won, semi-isolation with Shaka, and then I just got whatever it was, like 15 city AI with an 8 city vessel that launched a spaceship on something like turn 8. Well, I can't remember what turn, but like 1812, 1810, something like that. And that, yeah, to be honest, I think that might be better than a more impressively played game. Yeah, it says I've lost all my games. That's not true. That's because I've changed the language, isn't it? Yeah, but this here was a Nobles Club game, which was set up for you to catch or rush someone. Well, a few AIs, in fact, and yeah, apparently that is more impressive than this. God, am I? Yeah, it's late, isn't it? Yeah, so in this one, Nobles Club one, I did actually have a look at that. Because I wrote it on the forums about it a bit, and I think the spaceship in that was launched in like 1850, something like that, and I had to destroy that. Whereas Chin was already onto his second by then. I think it was quite early. And actually, in this one here, that's an isolation game where I won Diplo while Gilgamesh's spaceship was on the way to Alpha Centauri because I couldn't stop him militarily, so I did go for the Diplo kind of cop out there. So again, I guess 1850. Yeah, I wonder if it was pretty early, the spaceship launch. It feels it, but I don't really know. Anyway, yeah, I might come back to say a little bit more, but I'm already going to do something else now. Yeah, so I wanted to do a bit of a recap, and quite frankly, I didn't really have the energy to do it after finishing the game because the last two videos were they weren't me playing constantly, but I did it both on the same day, and yeah, it's a bit of a slog towards the end of the game. And the other thing is that I just couldn't remember the early bit of the game that well. And to be honest, it was just overwhelmingly the most important bit of the game. So to provide anything kind of useful in terms of an overview, I sort of needed to remind myself a little bit of what happened. Uh, Even if the post Astro game did seem well, was less straightforward than I thought, but it was going to be. But still, it was all really determined when it was just me and Shaka here. So okay, I think we started here. I wanted to move inland, mainly to block land. There were other reasons, I think, which I gave at the beginning. And the consequence of moving inland was that it meant that we met Shaka even earlier. Um, it was relatively clear that we were on our own pretty early, at least functionally. So it's semi-ISO. So your options really are coexistence or kill the other guy, and generally coexistence is better. You get foreign trade routes, you trade possibly. Well, most likely things like alphabet and monarchy, which they'll trade even if they're monopoly techs. But if you get the other guy to friendly, you can get some really good extra stuff, and you might get a religion as well. All these things help, and they generally help more than having lots of cities, which become a real drag on your economy, at least on deity, until you get to Astro and you get overseas trade routes. You can start going to tech for techs that are off the sort of the optics beeline, which you really need to go for, like currency. Um, so generally that's better, but when you've got Shaka, that changes things quite a lot. Peace is still possible. Gift him a city, get him to pleased. He probably won't attack you, at least not too early, especially if you can avoid border tension. Like the probability of him plotting each turn is actually quite low, even though he's one of the warmongers. But I really didn't want to do that here, um, partly because in a way it's not a very satisfying way to play because whether or not you have any success in the game is largely contingent on just dice rolls and whether or not he decides to attack you. Um, because if you go down that route, you're basically fucked and it's game over if he does attack you. And also, the risk of him attacking is low as long as there's no border tension. But you don't know where he's going to settle. If you've got a bit of experience in the game, you'll have some sense of it. But like, he ends up settling, I think, here or here. So I don't think. Well, I mean, maybe I could have settled that, but I think one of the other things that I didn't like about playing peacefully is that to get enough cities, I would have had to settle a lot of probably jungle, which wouldn't have been productive. early on, and I really just needed to settle it to stop him from getting it. So that's another thing that sort of pushes you away from trying to live peacefully. The other thing is that all of this, what would have been contested land, given his capital is here, um, I'm gonna have to fight really hard to get any of that. Even if I get some of the jungle, I'm looking at maybe 5, 6 cities, and typically a randomly generated map will give a continent with just two civs on enough space for sort of 10 each, 20-ish, something like that. So if I'm on 5 or 6, by the time I get to optics, Astro, you'd think he's going to be on like 12 plus, possibly 15 by the time he finishes settling the continent. And fighting against Shaka, who's got sort of double, possibly triple your city count, even with a tech edge, is just it's just horrible, really. So that was not an appealing option. I'd be interested to see someone try it, but I think it often fails. That being said, I think what I did would also probably fail more often than not, but that's just because it's a hard map. But if we're going to go for war, what's the best option? Well, I, for reasons I gave in the video, decided, oh, well, this is a video as well, obviously, but the reasons I gave at the time, I decided to settle here on the stone, build walls, stuff it full of archers, declare on him, and just let him continually suicide his stacks into me, mainly to just sort of curtail or sort of constrain his development. And this is a nice spot because you get stone, so and you don't have to connect it, which means cheap walls. Also, you've got the city centre tile, which is nice, and a financial lake. So even if he pillages all the stuff around here, it's not completely useless city. The other thing, which I can't remember if I said in the video or not, is that it was in range of this ivory tile because I think when I settled it, I didn't know there were horses. So I was thinking, I mean, I was hoping there'd be horses or something which would allow me to go at him pre elephants. But if there wasn't, I was going to be going elephants, and I reckoned I could settle a city here and get those two in the first ring, and then you just have to pillage that. And he's got no ivory. He can probably pillage that quite easily, and he wouldn't improve it again because it would be so close to a city. Like if I've got um, any way of getting to that tile in a turn, he's not going to go for it. Um, and that would have been my edge. I would have had ivory, he wouldn't have. Um, so that's what we do. But luckily, I get horses, and that means I can go horse archers, and it's always preferable uh, to attack earlier in situations like this. I mean, it generally just is better to go earlier. I think horse archers, if you're in a situation where they're sort of viable, are better than elephants. And I think this game showed off just how good they are as units. Um, but I think because I think they were particularly nice here because it worked very well that he would suicide a stack here, and then I could send um, units down here and attack in 2 turns. Him having emptied the city of defenders, and I think that's basically how I took Ulundi and the holy city that I can't pronounce here. Um, so I mean, just two movers are great, and horse archers are a lovely, lovely unit. Um, you just come a lot earlier. I think that's a big point as well. So I think that was the right strategy, but and I think I played well too. It wasn't just luck, but I do think that even doing what I did, which I think was probably was the right thing. I don't know. I still think probably lose more than you win. I felt like I had quite a lot of luck. I mean, the combat luck, obviously, particularly when I was actually attacking. because you can lose a string of 60-70% fights, then it's basically over. And whereas I think I won a string of like 30-40% fights, it's not super lucky, but yeah, it helped a lot. But also, I think just in the defending, his stacks should have died when they attacked my cities, and I should have lost sort of no more than one archer, and I think that's basically what happened. But that being said, it's not that unlikely that it goes a lot worse than that. I mean, you have one bad fight, not even necessarily an archer getting killed, but like one of your sort of stronger archers getting redlined in an early fight. It just means that every subsequent fight is a bit riskier, and you know you end up taking more losses than you should have done. And if if I'd lost that city, it's game over. Even just losing the hammers of having to replace and having to replace the archers would have been a real problem. He also never pillaged that, which he could have done. I mean, the AI tends not to; it's quite bad at that. But he had Impy running around. Um, it would not again have been super unlucky for him to have pillaged that, and that could have really delayed things. Also, he could have put Impy in positions which interfered with the chopping. It did a bit, but not as much as I think it might have done. Another thing I sort of noticed, I picked a bad save. I wanted to sort of show sort of where the combat happened early on before it all, everything had been chopped down and it's all covered in towns like it is with the last save. But he has a city around here which has iron in its second ring, and I think if he had either settled that with the iron in the first ring, which I suspect he probably never would if you played this map multiple times, because you tend to find that the AI settles in the same places over and over again. But he could have built a monument. Since he got a religion, he could have got a random spread of religion, which would have popped borders, and that would have meant he had swords, and that would have made it a lot harder. Partly because I think a sword attacking this city would probably have had I don't know, sort of around a 10% chance of winning each fight. Whereas the axes, I think, had like a 4 or 5% chance. Um, and also, just on defense, swords are probably just as bad as Impy, to be honest. So they've just got much higher base strength, any sort of fortification, cultural defense, anything like that. And to be honest, the sword is uh, more or less the same. So that I think I was quite fortunate with. I mean, I made my own luck a little bit because by declaring on him, he was less likely to build monuments. So the fact that he didn't build a monument there was probably partly because of my actions. So some credit there, but uh, he just done right. I mean, it's not that unusual, just because even Shaka builds things other than units during a war. I mean, not very often, but it does a bit. The other thing that sort of occurred to me thinking back was I think I was a bit lucky with the tech path. One was he went for a religion, and it wasn't, I think it was the monotheism one. So that was helpful in a few ways. One, I got a religion eventually, which helped with happiness. So there's probably an extra population in each city. Um, it also meant border pops, so particularly this one. It was very nice that I just got it's Holy City, isn't it? So it's 2 turns, and the borders have fully expanded. Um, but also it meant that it took him longer to get to the next, or get some of the military um, techs. And the other thing is, I think he went construction before horseback riding, which he probably normally does. But that was helpful as well, because actually catapults were not very useful for him. They died badly to horse archers, whereas if he'd had horse archers as well, I'd have basically been 1-for-1 trading with them, probably pretty much, which is quite annoying because obviously he's got a lot more production than I have, or at least a lot more production cheats. So even once his production was, well, constrained by the fact that he had hardly any, he had few cities left, and I suspect he was suffering quite a bit from unhappiness too, because don't think there were really any happiness resources around here. Can't quite remember, but I don't think the island was particularly uh, well endowed with happiness. Um, yeah, and then I'd say basically, with a bit of skill and those sort of things breaking my way, I was able to basically cripple him with horse archers, and that was sort of the game, really. I mean, Post Astro was harder than I thought it was going to be. I think I lost quite a lot of my teching power to bribing Chin off. I didn't realize that he was going to. Well, I think he got attacked by Monty, then he attacked Monty. Um, he also attacked Mehmet, didn't he? But I think there were three wars that I had to bribe him off in, which was a problem because I had to give him a lot of money, or I had to give him, I think, steel, which I couldn't then use to trade for anything else. Um, that, so that I think I hadn't appreciated I was going to have to do. He was a lot friskier than I thought he would be. I mean, the other thing that was very odd for me because I haven't really been in this position of having so many cities at the point when you meet the other continent because normally it's isolation where you stay small or in semi-ISO. I think this is the first time I've ever killed my neighbor. Yeah, I think it is. Um, it meant that I was in the top half of the scoreboard, so you end up getting to the We Fear You or becoming to advanced limit early, which meant that it was harder to sort of stay in the trading game. And also, I'd forgotten that Toki doesn't trade unless he's pleased, and he never was pleased with me because we were in a different religion. So yeah, he never opened borders and he never traded me anything, which left me with sort of fairly few trading partners. I do wonder whether I'd have been better off keeping Shaka alive actually for that, or even one thing that occurred to me subsequently was there's the sort of like the island off up, like, I don't know, it's like up here or something. Maybe I could have settled that completely and then just founded a colony and just to trade with. I don't know. I've never really done that, but I wonder if that might have been a good idea. Um, but anyway, although it was less straightforward than I thought it was going to be, ultimately when you've got so much land, you can pretty much always win Diplo as long as you. All I really had to do was just stop Chin capping everyone else, and I think I was always very likely to win. And that was really why I think I said that the game was basically over once. I don't know, not long after I'd met everyone, which. Yeah. And I think it was really only me forgetting the fact that you can just always go Diplo in these sorts of situations that left me feeling a bit despondent, like I was going to lose later on. I think also, I think, given the nature of the game, I think I would have felt that winning by Diplo was a bit, it wouldn't have been very satisfying. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was harder, and I think Chin is probably a better AI than I'd credit him for as well. He teched well, um, and he was aggressive enough for it to be a problem. I think he's probably a reasonably well balanced leader in that respect. I do think he launched his first spaceship probably earlier than I've seen. Something like 1810, 1812, something like that. I did go back and check actually. One of my, I don't have the saves for it anymore, but I wrote it up on the forums. One of the Nobles Club's games. I did look at it, and yeah, I think in that, when I had to destroy a spaceship, it was launched about 20 or 30 turns later. So yeah, I mean, I think it was a hard map in a number of ways. One that I wouldn't have won without a lot of luck. Um, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I did, even if it didn't always sound like I was enjoying it. And I think I will do it again because I'd say, yeah, I mean, no one's watched this, and I don't suppose that anyone will watch anything that I produce in the future either. But it just gives you, yeah, a different perspective on the game, talking through what you do, what you're doing. It slowed me down. I'm sure that's true. But I think it helped because I think one of the hard things with the game is avoiding just kind of drifting aimlessly. But by having to verbalize what you're trying to do at any given moment, it helps reduce the risk of that kind of drift where you played 30 turns and I don't know, you got more cities or whatever, but you still don't know how you're going to win the game. But anyway, thank you very much for watching if you got this far, and yeah, maybe see you again. Cheers.